table. What did we use for this DIY? We are going to make a farmhouse windmill, and I made a windmill DIY earlier, but I made it on my All About Christmas channel. So if you want to see more, that's more like a Dutch windmill. So with at the top with 4 pieces, and I'm going to make a top now what looks like a little bit more like a farmhouse windmill you will find as decor in your stores. So we use some tumbling tower blocks, some black paint, some furniture wax, some glue sticks, a brush, and of course some wood glue, my glue gun, a couple of the wooden rounds. I have 2 different sizes like this, but you also can use a piece of cardboard. So you just what you have laying around, and of course the paint you can at your choice. I use this colors, but you can use any color you like. This is the main pieces we need. You see already, we are going to start with the bottom of our windmill, and of course we are going to take 5 blocks like this, and I'm going to look if they are a little bit even, because you see already this one is a lot smaller. So we have to find, especially for the bottom, as even as we can. So, and again another 5 like this, and try to place them against each other and look if they have a little bit the same size, but because the measurements sometimes really go off. So I am always trying to get them even as I can. So what we're going to do, we are going to go for the sides like this. We are going to do 5 in a row and remove your glue immediately like this, and the second row, and we're going to do for block number 3 like this. And at least if your blocks are not totally even, at least try to get one of the sides even. Bijvoorbeeld this side or the other side, it doesn't matter, but try at least one of the sides to get even like this. Is number 4. And now the last one, of course, number 5. And like I said, I do it with some glue of my glue gun, but you can also use E6000 or wood glue, just what you want. Now I'm going to make row number 2 like this. This is already 1 like this. We are going to make the third one, of course, also like this. And you see already this one is totally out of line already. I can show it to you. You see, he is totally much smaller than the other ones, but I have to work with it because we don't like throwing things away. So we are just going to work with it and try to make the best out of it, and we will see how this will turn out in the last one. But you probably also noticed when you are making your blocks that not every block is the same size. So I'm sorry that I have to tell that every time again, because I know there are sometimes people who come back for already for a long time hear the same things again. But I'm sorry, I have to do it also for the people who come over, for the new ones. So, and if you're new one, I am always, like I said, welcome. We are going to glue these sides together like this, and we are going to place this one against this one like this, so we get at least the bottom. I show it you in a moment. You see, now at least the bottom in the middle is already the same size. I know this one is not the same size, but that doesn't matter. So we already finished up our bottom. What we're going to do, we are going to take 4 blocks, and we are going to go again 4 blocks against each other like this, and we are going to make 4 blocks of 4, but I will do that a little bit faster. You see, we got our 4 parts of 4, and what we're going to do, we are going to make a square. So we do it very easy. Just do some glue on one of the sides like this, and we are going to glue it together like this on the tops, and keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up like this. So you get a nice, I can show it to you a little bit better. This is the first one. The second one, of the third one, we are not going to do it the same like this, but we are going to lay it over here. I have to look, I feel that there is a little bit of glue, so I have to work it away before I glue it, like this. And you see, then I'm going to do some glue on this side of the block, over here, and I'm going to place my block against it, like this. And I have to make sure that I have him straight, like this. Squeeze it a little until it is dried up, and now we get our 4-piece, and of course he is totally fitting over here, and we get our square like this. Do some glue over here like this, and we are going to do some glue on the side like this over here, so not on the top but on the side, and we are going to place it in between like here, and keep it and squeeze it together until it is dried up like this. And I have to squeeze it. I'm sorry if I am in the front of your face with my hands, but I will show it to you in a moment. And you see, this is our first square, and we are going to make 3 of this one. You see already I have 2 of the 4 of the 3 squares already finished. I am busy with the last one. I only need to glue it together like this, and then we already have 3 pieces done of our frame of our windmill. Of course we have to keep it in place for a little more. And the last one, of course, we are going to do some glue on this side like this, and on the end of this block like this. And again we are going to squeeze this one together with this one, and of course keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up like this. And of course don't forget the underside to push. So now we have our 3 squares. We are going to take our bottom like this. This is the bottom, and now we're going to build it together the best way we can for our blocks. So it doesn't matter how you build it, just as long as we are going to build it. You see already we get already a nice piece of, it is already very high, but we still need to grow and grow. So I'm going to glue it with some wood glue. We are going to glue all the 3 pieces together. So we have our bottom. We are going to do on the other side of the underside of our blocks of our square. We are going to do some wood glue like this. Of course you can also do a combination with of course your glue gun, but I'm going to go for a little bit more sturdiness and be sure that everything will stick together, so I take a little bit more of my time for it. So I'm going to place it in the middle like this. I'm just placing it down, go on each side if I have him really in the middle like this, and then I'm squeeze it a little moment like this. And you see, of course, there is a little bit glue coming out, but it doesn't matter. That will dry up. And now we're going to do some glue on this side, of course, like this. And go over here and like this. And we are going to place the top of here like this. And squeeze it on top of each other, because we are going to let it dry for at least an hour. And again the last row of the blocks of 4, and then we're going to do the other top of the frame of our windmill like this, and go over it again like this. And now we are going to placing the top of here like this, and make sure that we have it as even as we can like this. And this is what we're going to let dry for an hour, and then we are going further with the second layer of our top. Our first start of our base is drying right now. What we're going to do, we are going to now make 2 squares of 3. This is very easy. Just make 3 blocks of 3 blocks in a row like this. And you see already this one has some marks on it, but it doesn't matter because I paint the minen in the minen. I paint mine in the black color, so you won't see it anymore, and this will be on the inside. So we make 4 of this block like this, 3, because the other one we did with 4, and this is number 2 already. And of course, if you don't want to see how it's made, of course, I totally understand that it takes a little bit too long of your time. So go ahead, skip forward. But of course, I hope you don't and you just enjoy to see how I make it, because I hope you make one of yourself and change them up any way you like, because it's your windmill. So change them up and give them the colors you like. Because this is, like I always say, just an inspiration, and I'm just going to try something most of the time. So we always will see where it goes. We never know how. Like this, and this is number 4 of 3. I'm going to remove the glue, and especially at the ends, feel that you don't feel a little knob with some glue on here, and also on this side and this side and this side. And now we're going to do the same like we did with the other one, like this, and we are going to glue this side to this side, just the same like we did with the other. And of course I have to be sure that I have it glued right, like this. And now we're going to do some glue on this side, like this, and we are going to glue it against here, like this. And again, make sure that you have a straight line, like this. And as everything is okay, also this one will be fitting and you have a nice square. So again, we do the same like we did with the other on the side, like here, and we are going to place it in between this one and just squeeze it and press it in the way you want to have it. And now you have your own little square, and we are going to make 2 of them, so I will make the other one a little bit faster. Now we have our 2 pieces, our 2 squares, and of course also this 2 we are going to glue together. We are going to give it with some wood glue some time to dry, like this. We are going over it like this. It's so easy to do, but only it needs a little time to dry. And we place this one on top. Get it in the shape you want it and let it dry. This will be an hour to hour and a half, and then we're going to do the next step. Now we are going to make the top of our windmill, because the rest is drying, so we have to make the best of it. So we're going to go for the top. What we're going to do for the top is also very easy. At least I think it's very easy, because I just make it the way I think it has to be made. Of course, probably it will be a little bit different in real life, but of course this is decor. We are going to make 8 pieces of 2, like this, and just move or work away your glue, especially also on this side, the sides. And now we're going to do the rest. I will do a little bit faster. And this is number 3 already. So So we have the 8 pieces of our top of our windmill. What we're going to do is also very easy. We are just going to lay them against each other like this, and we make a nice round out of it. And just looking that this one is coming together, of course, and this, and we have to make sure that we get a nice round like this. And just work, take your time for it, just measure out a little bit with your eyes from what's the best way to have them like this. And I think he looks quite okay like this. Now we're going to take our wooden round, and I have 2 different sizes. This is the smaller one, but I also have a bigger one. I think I'm going for the bigger one, but of course he is laying under my piece of paint on my house, so I have to work a bit with it. I'm sorry. It's out of camera. You see, this is the bigger one, and now I have to lay down this one again because I've touched it, and I think I'm going for this one. You see already? I like this, and then later we can make one line out of it, but we're going first for this one. So what we're going to do is very easy. We are just going to do some glue on the round, wood glue, and then I'm going to lay it on top of here. And it doesn't matter if there are pieces which are not touching and it's something glue, because on the back side we do the same round, so you don't see it anymore. So I'm going to take my wood glue, but of course we can place some wood glue also on top of here. Maybe we can try this. I was thinking maybe this also fine if we do it over here and just laying down later the pieces together again like this, like this, like this. Maybe this is easier than to do the whole round. I was thinking, you see where the DIYing is always comparing everything. Make also different decisions like this. And now I'm going to lay them against like this each other, like this. And of course this one has to still come up a little higher, and this one also over here. It is a little bit measuring out. And now we're going to get our round, and I hope I have it in the middle like this. I am looking if I am almost in the middle like this. I think I am. And then squeeze it a little bit like this, and then let it dry also. This first half dried for 1.5 hours. I'm going to, he's not totally dry yet. I'm doing a little bit careful because we have to turn it over, and we are going to make the other one, the other round on top of here. So like this. We also have to glue this one over here. So we take again our glue, and we are going to tip it off. And you see already, if you look carefully, you see already that I don't really have it in the middle. I can show it to you because mistakes are always, it's not really a mistake, but he's not. You see already how difficult it is just to get it even, at least for me. Maybe you are much better DIYer than I am. So of course this is my first time I make this one, so I am really curious how this one will turn out. Of course, like I said, I made the easier windmill, but I never made one like this, so we will see how this will turn out. Now I really have to get careful that I really have this one at least really on top of the other one, because that's now, because or else you can really see it. So, and I let this dry also for 1.5 hours, and then we are going to ready for the base, and we're going to build the base on top. Our top of our windmill is dried up, and you see already both sides are dried up. What I did, I just took a piece of toothpick. This is a little bit of the bigger one. Here in the Netherlands we call it a satéprikker. Satéprikker. It's a little bit more difficult word, but of course I think you call it a toothpick. When I hear my friends saying every time in the comments, they say it's a toothpick. So I'm just cut out little pieces from one side to this side. I just measured it out from one side to this side, and I did 8 of them because we have 8 openings. So just measure them out and just cut them in size. So I just take some piece of my glue like this, a little drop and a little drop over here, like this. And then we're going to place it in here and this one in here. And try to get them as even as you can and just keep them in place. And so we go around. You see, I did all of them over here, and if I like it, I am not really sure. But when we turn it over, I think he looks very nice. Of course, we can do a second row also over here, but you can do it any way you like. I hope this will look okay when I have it on my windmill, so I keep it for now. So, but if you have a better idea, let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear how you are going to do it. At least without drilling little holes. Of course, like I said earlier, you can drill some little holes through the little blocks if you have a husband who is really handy. My husband was not around, so I didn't have the choice, and I always like to show my DIYs how they are made, just without less tools that we can use. So I'm going to lay this apart, and we are going to do the base we are going to put together. Here we have already our two parts of our base of our windmill, and of course, if you see, I can place it totally inside of here. He would fall inside of here. So this is not a great thing. So what we're going to do, we are going to glue two blocks inside, just one over here and one on the other side, so on the same height, so we can place it in and he will be hanging on the blocks like this. So I am going to measure out where I need to glue them, and then we can place our this front on top of here like this, because it's very easy to place in. You see, I have the two blocks inside of here, and now we can place the top on here and he will be hanging over here. Of course, you can see it a little bit difficult. You still see the top is open, so we're going to make a little roof for it, a kind of a roof, of course, not a real roof. We are going to do 3 blocks like this. This is one. Squeeze it, and we are going to do the second one, and now we already have a nice top for our ending. I will take it off so you can see it a little bit better. So you see, he's totally fitting up up here. Of course, if you have maybe something or like cardboard or something else, it's also nice. Or maybe you have a wooden square, which is totally fitting. This is not totally fitting, but I like the way it is. So I use this as the top. What I'm going to do, because we need our front of our windmill on top of here, so we need some blocks to give it some sturdiness like this on top of here. So I will make this. So for the front, what I will use, because I have, like I said, the little roof, we place it here, and now we're going to make 3 rows of 3 like this. This is already one, and of course remove the glue. I say it, sometimes I sound like a record. I'm sorry if I do. I don't mean to, but I always love to tell you exactly everything what I do. I know sometimes it doesn't, then you just shut me out, just to do the sound a little bit lower, so you don't hear me too much, because if it bothers you, I don't want to bother anyone. So I'm just going to do the other one like this, a little glue, and this will be a number 2, and the last number 3 like this. And now we're going to glue these two together, and of course you can do it with some wood glue, but you also can do it with your glue gun. I think I'm going to choose for the wood glue, so I just do some wood glue on this side in the middle like this, and I'm going to glue them together like this. It's very easy, and again, just let it dry, but it gives so much more steadiness. So I let this dry for a little moment, and we are going to do some glue on the sides, like here, on the sides of the roof, and of course like here around, like here, on the edges of the blocks, like here. So this is very easy, and just place them now on top of here and in the middle like this. And of course look that if you have it in the middle, and also let this dry for a half hour too. So the roof is glued together, and of course this block is glued together. What we're going to do, we are going to make a little bit of a sturdiness for on top. We are going to make a little square, and we are going to do it this way. Just place it on top of here like this and squeeze it real hard. I show it to you in a moment. Like this. This is the first one. Now we're going to do some glue on this side and just place this one against it. Just what you did with the bigger ones, squares. Now we're going to make a smaller one. And we're going to do some glue over here. And some glue on the smaller line on here. And then we're going to place this one in between. Just like we did with the others. And just squeeze it. And now you have a nice little square. And we are going to glue this on top of here. Before we're going to do that, we are going to do 2 blocks of 2 like this and glue it together. And this is already 1. And we're going to do the second one and glue it also together like this. And this one we are going to do glue just a little bit in between like here. And we're going to place it on top of here and squeeze it real hard like this. And now we have, I think, all the pieces we need for building it together. We are going to place it together. We are going to do some wood glue like this, because we don't want our wheel to fall off like this. And we are going to glue it in the middle of our 3 blocks like this. Squeeze it and press it down and remove the wood glue which is coming out a little bit like this. And be sure that it is even like this. I show it to you this way. And now we're going to glue it on top of here. So it's very easy. Just do some wood glue under here like this, over here, and go around the little square. And we are going to place it on top over here, just in the middle, and on the end I show it to you like this. You see, now he get a nice start already. I think he looks already very nice. We didn't know how he would look at the at the end, of course, but like this. And I let it dry, and I'm going to place this one. Here is our wheel, and of course we are going to place in this wheel on the back side, we are going to place the 2 block like this, because we are going to later glue this on the front of here. I have to show it to you this a little bit better. I thought I would have them, and this will be on top of here, but first we are going to glue it in the middle like here. Of course we also do it with wood glue. Finally, we're going to start with, you see already, this is how the top is looking like right now. We are going to do the finishing touch, and I'm going to do the bottom and this one in the black, and I'm going to do the wheel in some furniture wax, but I'm going to paint this one in this black school board paint. But of course, you can do any color you like, but I'm going for the underside in the black, but you can choose white or anything what you like. So the last piece before we're going to put it together and he is finished is some furniture wax. And like you know, I always use a very cheap brand. So I'm going to do all pieces in some furniture wax for the rustic look. Our wheel is finished, but I think he looks a little bit much too plain. So I going for a little bit of distressing on the sides, only on this part, not on the parts from our stand of our windmill, but just this part. So I'm going to take some schoolboard paint, and I'm going to dab it like this, just on a piece of kitchen towel, to wipe most of the paint away. But I think you already know how to distress, so I'm just going to show it for everyone who loves to see it. And I'm just going to first around the sides like this. And of course it is no rhyme or reason again where you're going to do it. Just do it what feels good for you. So I'm going to try to give it a little bit more of a distressed look, and then we are going to glue the pieces together, and then we are really at the end of the DIY. So our wheel of our windmill is finished, and I think he looks a little bit more like a windmill. Of course, give it your own imagination on it. Like I always say, I say it a lot, it's your piece and it is your imagination. Just make it yourself, because this is just an inspiration. You don't have to do it the way I do it, because I make a lot of mistakes. You always see me making them, because I always love to show them also. What we're going to do, we're going to turn it over, because we want to glue it together. Now I think I'm going to lay it this way, and now we take the top piece of our windmill, and we need to glue this on top of here. So I have to measure out a little bit like this. So what I'm going to do, I let a moment my wood glue dry in, I think maybe for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to place our piece on top. So I need enough glue, because he needs to hold the whole wheel like this. So I'm just going to let it dry in for a little moment, and then I'm going to place this front with the bigger front, not the smaller front, but the bigger front, which we have here on this line. We are going to place it over here, and I'm going to lay some just a can of paint on top of here, just to give it some pressure. If you have something else, it's also fine, but it needs some pressure that it stays on place, and let it dry for at least half an hour till an hour. Maybe just don't take a risk, just do an hour at least. So I wait a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to place. I also wanted to give you a little sneak peek how I build my things up, just to let it dry. It is a construction, but it works. So I hope you also have something laying around. I took off the paint cans, and we are going to get it up, and he is staying on. So I'm very happy ladies, because the rings is, or at least the ring is stayed on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the underside of the underpiece, and I'm going to place it up here, of course, when everything is fitting, and he is fitting. And of course you can't see it anymore. I always dropped it. You see, like this. I showed you in the end review a little bit better.